Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? It's Kyle Henderson along with Trey Yannity. Definitely hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. We appreciate you more than you know. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Wednesday, September 1st. It's the first of the month, and it's the first weekend of real college football as the Alabama Crimson Tide get ready to take on the Miami Hurricanes in Atlanta, Georgia. Trey, you know what they call the Mercedes Stadium, right?
I believe Tuscaloosa East, right?
Yeah. Brian Denny East. So how the show is going to work, we're going to get your score predictions, most importantly, put those on the screen. We have Chris and our producer in the background. He'll put your scores on the screen. We'll talk about this game a little bit more. I know we've talked about every single angle, from what type of cleats they're wearing to the jerseys to, we've been previewing this game since the last game ended for Alabama's national title run. So a lot to go into it, and we're also going to pipe in Nick Saban's press conference. Spoke today earlier about Jaleel Billingsley. We'll dive into that. I know that's kind of been the mini soap opera of the preseason training camp, but I think he's going to be dialed in. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe again. Post your score prediction inside the comment box. I mean, Trey, have you had a chance to don't give your score prediction yet? I posted mine on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I posted mine like 2 weeks ago because I'm just that confident in this game. I know the line's at 19. So don't give your score prediction away. I won't post mine. But if you're with us, post your score inside the comment box. Cameron's already saying, Cameron Best is saying 100-0.
Oh, Cameron, I like the energy there, man. We need to get on that wave. No, I'm going to save my score prediction. It's in that ballpark. I know, Kyle, yours is pretty close to that as well. I mean, we typically save it for our tailgate show on the Friday nights when we can compete with each other and break it down there. But, I think everybody, for the first opener in a little bit, this is really consensus. Everybody is thinking Alabama's going to win this game. There's no shadow of a doubt in anybody's mind. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? What's to make of all this?
I mean, it's rat poison, right? I mean, anytime that you're a 19-point favorite going into week one or whatever game it is, you're always going to be, it's going to be the outside noise. But as Saban was talking about, a lot of mental preparation from today, Wednesday, going into that game on Saturday. It's mental preparation. You know what exactly to do. You've been doing it since the beginning of preseason training camp, and now it's about time to go out there and execute. I always go back to what Kobe Bryant used to say. He was so dialed in that he knew what was going to happen come game time. That Mamba mentality of, you already know what's going to happen. The Miami quarterback is a dual threat quarterback. You know that they return 91% of their production. So you know what's coming your way. So by the time that this game kicks off, everybody should be settled in. Of course, there's going to be those pregame nerves, but like anybody that's played any type of sports, once you start playing, those pregame jitters go away. So thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. We'll be posting your score predictions on the bottom of the screen. We'll provide our score predictions at the end. We're going to pipe in Nick Saban. Trey, let's talk about this Miami team before we get going. I mean, they returned so much production. I'll put a couple stat lines on the screen that I was looking at today. 91% of their production coming back from this last season. Tons of firepower on offense, on defense. I know Alabama is a nearly 3 touchdown favorite, but let's talk about Miami a little bit. And like Saban said, there's going to be challenges on both sides of the ball.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, this is a talented Miami team. The ACC is not a very talented league. And before I get into this, guys, please hit that like button. Give us a super thanks. Chris is producing tonight for the first time, so show him some love. Get in those comments. Let us know what you think. But, Kyle, this Miami team is a solid team. 19 out of 22 of these guys that started last season are coming back to start again this year. They have transfers coming in as well. And, you look to those skill positions, like you said, production-wise. That's where you get a little bit worried if you're an Alabama fan. Anybody on their schedule, if you're a fan of that team, because they bring back their quarterback who was in Heisman conversations last year. They bring back a very, very formidable offensive line like Nick Saban talked about today. And you look on the defensive side of the ball as well. It's a very aggressive secondary. Up front, it's going to be maybe not the strongest defensive line Alabama's going to face all year, but it is week one, and anything can happen in these opening game matchups. It is Bryant-Denny East. It is Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and Alabama knows how to win some games here. And it is Miami. This is a team that isn't going to compete at an SEC level this season, but I think they could really turn some heads. And you look at that ACC Coastal Division, North Carolina is going to be a very good team this year. Outside of that, there's really no other competitors. If Miami finds a way to win this game, somehow, if they're able to win this game, this could be a team we look at the end of the season with maybe 1-2 losses that we're talking about for a New Year's Six Bowl. So this is a good team. And like you said, Kyle, it's on both sides of the football. If there's one area that maybe worries you the most, what's that going to be? For me, I think it is De'Aaron King and what kind of presence he brings. But thankfully, this Alabama defense looks all right too.
Yeah, as you see on the screen, I mean, this is from Miami's preseason notes going into this game. The King is back in Coral Gables. De'Aaron King, a Heisman candidate. After dominating first season Coral Gables, De'Aaron King announced his plans to return to the Hurricanes in 2021 in December 26 of 2020, just before Miami's appearance in the 2020 Cheez-It Bowl. I love the Cheez-It Bowl, by the way. I mean, who doesn't love Cheez-Its, right? King, who tore his ACL and his meniscus in his right knee during the bowl game, is fully recovered from the injury. And actually, we talked to Gary Furman of Kane Sports and said he's in Coral Gables and he covers Miami for Rivals.com. And he said that he's been looking very polished during this preseason. I know you asked me what I'm concerned with. I'm not necessarily concerned with, if Alabama is going to be able to stop a dual threat quarterback. But I am curious to see how Alabama comes out with this new offense, because there's so many names to replace, and especially starting with the quarterback position. I mean, just look, we want to talk about pressure, and it seems like Bryce Young's a very icy cat, right? It seems like he has that Mamba-esque mentality where he's very cool, collected. But I mean, just yesterday, we learned that Mac Jones is starting the NFL. He was a quarterback here last year. Quarterback before that was Tua Tagovailoa. He's a starting quarterback for the Dolphins. And then you have Jalen Hurts, quarterback before that, is starting quarterback of the Eagles. So when you have the past three quarterbacks that are starting now in the NFL, plus you have all these deals on the side, now with the name, image, and likeness, that's a lot of pressure. But I've been really pleasantly surprised to see how Bryce Young has handled himself, not only on the field with his teammates, and we're going to find out more about that cohesiveness and the chemistry, but when talking with the media, he seems so cool. He seems so, collected. And so when I look at this Alabama offense, I want to see what they do in that first quarter. Let's say something doesn't go their way. Let's say there's a turnover, something like that. How can they respond? How can they come back? And how can they get dialed in, focused for this game against Miami, where they're a big favorite? Everybody's all on Alabama. It's all rat poison. It's all outside noise. But can you focus on where your feet are? Just look right now, look down, and can they be focused to maintain this dynasty that they've had under Nick Saban?
It's a question that I think, has been circulating Bryce Young's head for a long. This whole offense, is he going to be the kind of guy that can replace a Mac Jones, that was replacing a Tua, that was replacing a Jalen? I'm not sure if Bryce Young is that guy, but I don't think he has to be at all times. This offense is really talented. We had some users the other day commenting about how excited they are to see Brian Robinson and Jace McClellan and this running back room. I think they're going to contribute a lot to this team. And the tight end room now, obviously been the soap opera story of the fall camp, has some drama around it, but there is some really talented characters in that room as well. Cameron Latu, people forget he made the transition over from linebacker. He looks like he may be tight end number one this season. Major Tennyson, another guy that's going to see an increase in workload. And I think Jahleel Billingsley, with whatever's going on right now, it was addressed this morning in that teleconference. It's obviously something away from the field. And I think something that we're not going to speculate on. It could be any number of things, but I think something that they are going to find a way to clear up early in this season. And I think either way, it's not going to affect his playing time too terribly much. As far as Bryce Young goes, I think it's, like you said, just figuring out a way to quiet all the noise and really just focus on the game of football. And thankfully, you're at a program that is pretty good at finding ways to do that. But for Bryce Young, he is the first quarterback with these NIL deals. He is the first quarterback to have to replace 3 consecutive NFL starters. I don't think you can find another quarterback in college football history that's had to do that. So there is a lot of pressure on this offense overall. But one thing, Kyle, I think if you're an Alabama fan, you really have to be patient early in this first game. It is week number 1. In a season where you're replacing your quarterback, where you're replacing your running back, where you're replacing vital roles on your offensive line, you're replacing wide receiver number 1, wide receiver number 2. You're replacing so many pieces on this offense. If the score is, maybe 7-0, 3-0 at the end of the first quarter, that's not necessarily a reason to be worried, to be upset, because you have to, really give this offense some time. Maybe it's a quarter, maybe it's a half, maybe it's a game, but it is going to take a little bit of time for them to get those real game reps and get comfortable together.
Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. We appreciate you, fam. Kyle Henderson along with Trey Yanity. We're coming to you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Tony Tsoukalas, our team writer, will be in Atlanta, Georgia, with coverage from Alabama's first game of the season between Alabama and Miami. Sincerely, we thank you. We're always saying we appreciate you guys, so definitely smash that thumbs up button. And Trey, actually, let's put in that Billingsley audio and then kind of dive into that a little bit, because I mean that seems to be the one thing, along with Q Robinson, along with his DUI.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a couple of things where, you know, this team needs to grow in a leadership perspective. So here's Saban talking about Billingsley. This was earlier today.
And growth-wise, out of Jalil Billingsley, what can you tell me? How's he impressed you the last couple of weeks, Coach?
You know, we're just trying to get, you know, Jalil to be a very responsible, disciplined person, as well as a responsible, disciplined player. And he's certainly a very talented guy, and we have high hopes for how he can contribute to the team. But, you know, how that happens is, you know, sort of up to him and, you know, his choice.
Okay, so I mean, it was short and sweet, and then Saban addressed that today, and you can catch that video again back on our Bama Insider YouTube channel. I think when you look at you know, Billingsley, I was trying to pull the slider a little bit for this video, play it again or whatever. But I think when you look to Billingsley, I mean, I feel that he's still going to be a weapon for this team. I think he's still going to be impactful, and I think he will get dialed in. And look, I mean, these guys are young. These guys are still trying to find themselves as young men, right? And so I'm not too worried about it. What about you, Trey? I still think that, you know, when the lights come on at some point early in the season, I still think Billingsley is going to be dialed in.
I think he will. And, you know, right now is not the time to worry. I think come week 1, if he doesn't go out there and he doesn't play a snap, I think that's when you get worried. But in the practices that we've seen, in the footage that we've gotten from practice, it's not like Jalil Billingsley isn't taking equally as many reps. It's not like he's, you know, not getting in the scrimmage plays or anything like that. He is just as much in position to start, to get ample reps as he was before. Obviously, there's some stuff going on right now that is frustrating this coaching staff, maybe frustrating his teammates. Maybe it's something that is justifiable. We don't know what that is. Hopefully, it is resolved within a timely manner so he can get, you know, the max out of Jalil Billingsley this season. But I don't think this is something, like you said, that is truly going to hamper him for the long run. It's something that is fun to talk about. It's something that really has been the soap opera story. And, you know, even if all this wasn't happening, let's say there wasn't some kind of off the field instance going on, we could make an argument for Cameron Latu and Major Tennison to get those reps and maybe be 1 and 2 over Jalil Billingsley already. This is a really well-rounded, tight end group here. And I think we're going to see a lot of plays this season, whether it's the running backs, whether it's the tight ends, a lot of passes behind the line of scrimmage. They're going to be a big part of this. We're going to see them block maybe a little bit more if Jalil Billingsley doesn't get those first team reps. But I think if he does, it's going to be that Kyle Pitts. We've talked about it all offseason. He has that build. He's athletic. He can make big plays and he can block. And I think this group, from what we've seen all week long, they've been really focusing on the blocking aspect of things. So I think all 3 of these guys are fine to be the starter. I think all 3 of these guys could be 1, 2, or 3. If Jalil Billingsley is that guy, I think Alabama's probably in their best spot out of the 3, but it's not that much of a drop-off from 2 or to 3 that it will make that much of a difference. But you got to hope Jalil Billingsley comes back and can have the season we've been waiting for.
You're looking at Alabama's football schedule right now on the screen. They take on Miami this Saturday, 2:30 p.m. kickoff on ABC from Atlanta, Georgia. Following that, it'll be Alabama's home opener against Mercer. That'll be on the SEC Network at 3 p.m. And then on September 18th, Alabama will travel to Gainesville, Florida, to take on the Florida Gators and Dan Mullen. I wonder if Dan Mullen will be dressed up. Maybe not, because we're not in the month of October, but everybody remembers when he was dressed up as Darth Vader last year. Plus, they lose, Kyle Trask and, a lot of their arsenal. Kyle Pitts, I know a buddy of mine last night was debating about taking Kyle Pitts inside the fantasy draft. I was telling him to. I think Kyle Pitts is good.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's going to be productive in Atlanta. I mean, they got rid of Julio Jones. I mean, maybe we're kind of segueing off a little bit, but let me get to the schedule quick. Then they got Southern Miss. So I like the front end of that schedule. I think the Florida game is going to be interesting because you go to Florida, it's on the road. There's going to be a packed house in the Swamp. I think that's going to present a lot of challenges just from a playing on the road perspective. But I think Alabama's still a 14-point preseason favorite. Yeah. So that's a lot of rat poison right there. Then you got Ole Miss, and everybody remembers that Ole Miss game. And Lane Kiffin, and you look at the quarterback that they have in Matt Corral, and then you look to the game following that. And I think that could be a tough little stretch right there because you have Lane Kiffin, then you have Jimbo Fisher. Did you see Jimbo Fisher got another extension today?
I did.
Just give him $1 billion already.
You know?
I mean, right? It's like, just give him $1 billion. It's fine. I mean, it's Texas.
It is.
I mean, I guess
It's
they
the oil
only
money.
lost one game last year, so
Probably should have made the playoff.
yeah. Hey, Chris, let's put up some score predictions on this game. We'll read them out on the screen, and then we'll put Saban on. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, fam. We appreciate you. Alabama versus Miami. Finally here this Saturday, September 4th, from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Bryant-Denny East in Atlanta, Georgia, 73,000. They're gonna have the stadium open, so you guys go enjoy yourselves, be safe, and let's get some scores on the screen. Daniel Chambers has it 42-24. What's up, Daniel? I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. We got Cindy. She's saying Alabama 37, Miami 13. Okay, that's kind of comparable to what I'm going to have later on in the show.
It's a fair score there.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's keep them rolling, Chris. What else we got? We got Bama. I think this is Bama. This is either Bama High or Bama in Hawaii. I mean, remember when Tua was the quarterback? We had the Hawaiians were all over the show.
Goodness.
I was getting chocolates from Hawaii. Where's my Hawaiian family at? Because I miss them. 31-24. Watch everything. Leslie is 24-21.
Oh, wow.
Miami. Okay.
Oh,
Upset alert.
that's the first Miami I've heard probably all week, all month even. Wow. Okay.
All right. Let's keep them going. Okay. William, I'm not even going to try to butcher your last name, but it's 14-13 Alabama. Okay. I like a little bit of an old school. I think there's going to, I mean, what's the total points in this game?
It's somewhere
It's
near
like
60.
Is it 60?
I think
Okay.
it's
So
somewhere right around it.
I think low scoring game might be a little bit less. Well, let's keep them rolling. What else we got? Hank Q. What's up, Hank Q? Bama 63, Miami 10. Okay. That's a large margin.
Bold.
Yeah, it is bold. Thank you. Okay. Keep them coming. Okay. Xavier Hernandez. I like this avatar right here. He's got like the white screen and Bama 73-2.
Oh my.
Woo.
A safety. I mean, that's
A safety. Is that
we'll hear
disrespect?
about
Is that disrespectful?
Could be.
All right, keep them coming.
Rat
Let's see
poison,
what else we
nothing
got.
else.
Okay, Bama edits 45-13. Okay, keep in mind that one. Okay, because that is very, very close to my prediction, which I'll add at the end of the show. Okay, let's get a couple more, and then we'll get to Saban, and then we'll continue reading. So keep on posting your comments on the screen. Hey, Daniel is saying, sorry, Chris, I'm going to hop you real quick. Daniel Chambers is from Hawaii. No, or he's Hawaiian. Daniel, do you still live in Hawaii? Well, we won't tell you what's going to happen here in the next couple hours, way over here in the great state of Alabama.
I was going to say, we'll keep you on delay. Keep you in suspense over there,
Keep
Daniel.
you on
Thanks for tuning in, man.
suspense.
How about that Hawaii tuning in? We get New York all the time, California.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Daniel.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Okay, let's play Saban. You can watch Saban's whole press conference in its entirety on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. I'm going to add that. We're going to kind of run through some things that stood out from Saban's press conference tonight. He has his press conference on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we post those right here on BamaInsider.com. Hit the thumbs up, fam. We appreciate you being here. Charles is from Cali. Love Cali. Used to live in Redondo Beach. So got love for Cali. Right, we'll get to you in a second. Here's Saban early on. Chris, let's take off that. No, actually, we can leave that banner up. Here's Saban.
Smaller crowds last year, now having.
Mike, go ahead.
Just how much of a reacclimation period might there be for players just having played in front of smaller crowds last year, now having 100% capacity and full crowd noise?
Well, I think, anytime you're playing when you're a player, crowd noise does make a difference in a game, which we didn't have to deal with a whole lot a year ago. So a lot of the players that have played, last year, they'll have to get reacclimated to that. But I think being able to communicate with hand signals and not as much relying on verbal communication is always very important. I mean, we spent today, practicing that way with noise. We'll spend tomorrow practicing that way with noise. So I think there is, some adjustment that players have to make. It's something that they have to get used to, and we try to do that by simulating it in practice as much as we can.
I thought this was an interesting point to lead off, and that was a good question because, you look to last year, and I think it was such a travesty that people weren't able to see in person one of the greatest offenses, one of the greatest teams in Alabama history, right? They run the table in an SEC-only conference schedule with no one pretty much in the stands. And I felt the same way I even felt bad for the basketball team, probably worse, because what they were doing on the basketball court last year under Nate Oates, and no one could see this team in its glory. Can you imagine some of those games late in the season at Coleman? They would have been completely sold out, right?
It would have been, I mean,
it would have been bananas. So,
madhouse.
I think that's a good point. I mean, you're going into this game, it's going to be Bama heavy, I would assume. It's not that far from Tuscaloosa or from wherever. I mean, I'm sure Georgia or the Atlanta area has a wide variety of fans, but especially Alabama fans.
Oh,
right?
I mean, they love it. It's really, truly, people say this a lot. It's kind of a cliche, Bryant East, but it truly is a place that Alabama fans love to travel to. It's a beautiful stadium. I don't know if you've had the chance, Kyle. It is maybe the nicest stadium on planet Earth right now. But, I expect it to be probably 75-25. I think the Miami fans, I think all fan bases, when they get the chance to play Alabama, they love to go travel and see that because it's a really cool experience for them. We met some Duke fans a few years ago at that game that, were just overwhelmed by getting to play Alabama. Miami has had the history and the success, so that may not be the case as much. But to kind of go back to what you said a second ago, Kyle, think about the stats we would be looking at right now if it had been a full season. I mean, the records that would have been broken, and for the fans to miss out on what this team got to do last year. I think, it is Mercer, I believe, is the home opener. I don't think the game is going to be very close. It's not going to matter very much, but it might be one of the most intense, loudest Alabama atmospheres we've seen in the last half decade because of how hungry people are to get back. What do you think about that Florida game, down there in the swamp? Is that going to be the craziest atmosphere this team has to deal with all season?
I don't know. I mean, who knows? I mean, I guess that's a hypothetical, right?
It is. Yeah, we're not supposed to do that. That's on me. It's after 6 years. I'm losing it.
No, you're right. I mean, I've actually been to the Mercedes Stadium more times than, probably anyone in our staff. I think because I went on a tour there. I went to like 4 games there.
Oh, man.
I went to the national championship there. I went to the SEC championship there. There was a rivals convention there.
Oh,
so from what I've heard, and I went out to the San Francisco 49ers stadium for when they played Clemson. That was a really nice stadium, Levi Stadium.
Pretty.
The only problem is it's in Santa Clara, and like nobody cares about college football out there. So it was really weird that they had the championship out there. But I've heard that Jerry's World is like the ultimate. Did anyone out there watch that drone video of their campus?
Oh my, that was so cool. Yeah.
That was one of the coolest. Yeah, there was the opening for Hard Knocks.
It was,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing that they had that. Yeah, that was really cool.
And that new stadium in LA too is getting a lot of hype.
Oh yeah. That one looks pretty rowdy. I've seen a lot of people actually been brawling in that stadium.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's really just
that?
the West Coast in general.
Yeah,
people want to fight right
everyone's now. Maybe they need some of this rain that we've had to cool them off. You should see, like we live in Tuscaloosa. It has rained like the past 4 days. It just rained. It just rained and rained and rained.
Sideways.
And then for no apparent reason today, this huge thunderstorm just came and rained. So I'm worried about the golf course because on Thursdays I like to sneak away. It's kind of like my day off and hit the links a little bit. So, hey, thanks for sticking with us. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. This next topic I wanted to play, I think is very important. It's about Rhett Lashley's up-tempo offense. He's the offensive coordinator for Miami. If you look to tempo teams, they've given Alabama's defense in the past a little bit of trouble. You kind of look to what Ole Miss did last year. So here's Nick Saban talking about Rhett Lashley and the Miami offense. Let me get that. I think it starts at 2:34.
Ask about what you thought about the job that Rhett Lashley's done at Miami as their offensive coordinator, and if you see any similarities in what they did last year to what he did when he was at Auburn.
I think he's done an outstanding job. They're very productive on offense. They've got really good skilled players. They spread you out. They do some things that are, similar to Auburn, but I think their tempo is even greater than, what Auburn is in terms of how fast they play and how that can affect defensive players. And it's also a difficult preparation. And I think they are very well tied together in terms of, what they do in a running game as well as what they do in a passing game. So I have a lot of respect for, him as an offensive coach. And I think he's done an outstanding job with the players that he has at Miami.
I think that's going to be very interesting when Alabama, first game of the season, when you see an up-tempo offense, because, this defense, we've talked about this defense, this loaded defense, this ferocious defense. Every single aspect of this defense, in my opinion, stands out, right? I mean, yes, it's Alabama, so you could say that every year, but this year in particular there's so much talent within the defensive line. We've talked about the depth. The inside linebackers look fantastic with Henry To'oTo'o in there with Christian Harris. Outside linebackers, William the Terminator Anderson, Chris Allen, and then you look to the secondary. right? Where's the weak spot? But I think offenses that have tempo, they can keep you off balance. They can keep you guessing. They can keep you on the field. Trey, when we look at kind of the up-tempo offense, and I think offenses that have given Alabama fits, and maybe Pete Golding fits in the past, it's been teams that run tempo.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it. We were having this conversation the other day, actually. What dual threat quarterback has Alabama really handled well? Kyler Murray in the first half of that playoff game, maybe. Outside of that, Alabama's had problems with this. Thankfully, Pete Golding really hasn't experienced this too often. So I'm interested to see how this goes for Pete Golding in this defense. But like you said, there's just so much depth. There's so much talent. And the leadership in the middle is what I love the most. Henry To'oTo'o has come in and has apparently just really taken that linebacker group by storm. And I saw some comments actually while we were on the other day, Kyle, talking about, maybe Jalen Moody deserves this job. He's stuck it out. He's put the time in to earn it. But I think that speaks volumes about Henry To'oTo'o and what this group is capable of by the fact that he did earn that job, that he came into the program without doing all those reps, without being here for the last 2 years, and was able to be the vocal leader throughout this fall camp. That speaks volumes to what this defense is going to be capable of. Miami's offense is pretty dynamic. You look after that, you play Mercer, then you go to Florida, then you play Ole Miss, and Miami's offense is probably right there with Ole Miss, is the best that you're going to face within that stretch, and probably even just as good as Texas A&M's at times this season. We'll see how they look, but this is a good offense. I think better than their defense even. Alabama's front is going to have to come with it. I think Will Anderson's edge rush is going to provide enough chaos for D'Eriq King, and that Miami offense to really limit what they can do. But it's going to be a challenge. And I think if you're Alabama, you have to find a way to just quiet the noise early and make sure D'Eriq King isn't the guy that beats you.
Hey, Chris, let's post some more of those scores on the screen, and also post up X1 Way Studios. He's asking about the goatee. So I kind of go back. It's like sometimes I'll have the goatee, sometimes I'll go with babyface Hendo. So right now, I guess for the preseason, I'm kind of trying to figure out my whole style and what I'm going to go. So maybe I'll just rely on you. If you guys want the goatee back, let me know. It's not a problem. I promise you.
I might put a vote in on the goatee.
Yeah, the goatee, right? Yeah. Okay, we got Wayne. What's up, Wayne? I appreciate it, man. You got a nice avatar. I like it. Let me see. I can't. What was that? Was that 42 to 21? Was that Wayne? Okay. Wayne Hope, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Tide, 42. Miami, 21. Roll Tide, roll. Appreciate it. That's a good score. I like it. Bama, 41. Miami, 17. King Eater, what's up, man? We appreciate you as well. Thank you very much for joining us on the Scuba. Steve is saying, fear the beard. Okay. That was some good. Yeah, that's some good feedback.
That's
we
nice.
read the comments. I'm telling you.
Fear
the beard. I like it. Wayne, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here. Okay, more scores. Let's get to more scores. Post your prediction inside the comment box. Joshua Ellis, number 18, 34-13. Not a bad score. I like that. I could see
reasonable.
Alabama getting to the back end and hitting 2 field goals to kind of take the air out of the game or something like that.
Yeah.
Bama 52-14. Julian, what's up? I like the skeleton. Kind of some I like it. We're getting to that month. October's coming, man. I'm all about the skeletons and the crossbones, man. Love it. Okay, what else we got? Bama Edits is okay. We got High Power TV. Bama 32, Miami 13. These are some fair
People
scores.
Are really. I
think early on we were getting our 70-2 and our 63. 100 to nothing. Those were our early fans who checked in, who were like, they had the subscription button locked on, and they're just like 100-0. Scuba Steve, okay. Fear the beard. Now he's saying 38-24. Look, I guarantee you, Trey doesn't know this. Okay, I promise you. He's too young. He doesn't know it. Scuba Steve. Does anybody know what movie Scuba Steve was in?
You got me.
Big Daddy, Adam Sandler. Come on. He's never seen it. Never even heard of it.
Wow, no. Is that the one where he has like Cole Sprouse in New York City?
This is so sad.
I know about it. All right. I'd need to read.
Yeah, see, Scuba Steve does. Of course he does. All right, a couple more scores, then we'll pipe in some more Nick Saban. Sean, what's up, man? Appreciate you. 38-16. Roll Tide, roll, I would assume. What One Way Studio saying Alabama 24, Miami 10. Low scoring. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming in with the big daddy. See, I told you. Yeah, Scuba Steve is my father. Okay, I got you. All right. I wanted to play this next clip of Nick Saban because I think this is very interesting keys to the game. Saban was talking about Miami's defense, that they're being aggressive, but he emphasized the aggression is from the corners. Now, with Alabama losing Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, you're going to have some wide receivers that need to step up. John Mechie's proven, right? Everybody remembers the last time that he was in Atlanta, what he did, right? The boom heard round the world. But besides that, you need more wide receivers to step up. Here's Nick Saban talking about, this next one he's talking about Jalen Armour Davis, but I think he's talking about Alabama's defense next. So let's just let it run.
What stands out about the way Miami plays defense, their secondary, their style, and the experience I have back there?
Yeah, they're very aggressive, in the way they play. Run a lot of corner cats. They play a lot of clamp coverage. Not that I expect anybody to know what that is, but their corners can be very aggressive, and they play very aggressive in the back end. They play man-to-man, they're very aggressive in their style on defense. And I think, that's contributed to their success in the past. And we're going to have to do a good job of executing against some of the pressure things that they do so that, we eliminate negative plays, which is what they're trying to create.
We're going to Cecil Hurt. Cecil.
So we'll pipe in a couple more comments, and then we'll continue to talk about these scores that you guys are posting. So keep posting them, and then we'll have Chris throw them up at another moment in the show. But Trey, when we talk about Miami's aggressive defense and the fact that Alabama doesn't have Jalen Waddle, that they don't have Devontae Smith, aka the GOAT, right? I mean, look, this is maybe another question. Do you think Devontae Smith's the best wide receiver ever at Alabama? We don't have to go into it now. I know that could start a war. I don't want to start a war right now.
Simple answer, no. But we'll save that.
Whoa!
No. I know
that was quick.
It's a cold take.
That was quick.
But there's a certain receiver in my mind. I think people would agree with me. But we'll save that discussion for another day.
Crazy. Okay, but this aggressive Miami corners going up against Alabama's, I don't know if you call them, maybe they're just unproven, because I've heard really good things about Jameson Williams, the Ohio State transfer. I already talked about John Mechie. Look, these guys love Slade Bolden. I know people want to force feed other wide receivers, but look, Slade Bolden, they keep featuring him. He's starting on the depth chart. What do you think about this wide receiver matchup? I mean, it's not like we know Miami's depth chart front and back, but I mean, Alabama's wide receivers, I think, need to step up, considering they've sent 4 guys in the first round of the NFL draft over these last 2 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're losing a lot. But I think really what you focus on here, if you do any kind of research on Miami's defense, immediately you hear about these secondaries. You hear about the cornerbacks and what they're capable of. And for Alabama, that's really not the worst thing in the world, because you talk about Jameson Williams, you talk about John Mechie, you're going to see a lot of deep balls to Jameson Williams. That's getting the cornerbacks involved there. I think Jameson Williams is a top 3 receiver on this team. I think John Mechie is your receiver number 1. He's going to get a lot of deep balls as well. So these 2 guys are going to really test those corners. I think if there's 2 receivers that you want to be testing your corners, it's your 1 and 2, maybe your 1 and 3 in this situation here. What I worry about, if we were to get the scouting report in here, the inside linebackers are unbelievable at stopping passes over the middle, because I think we're going to see a lot more of that. We're going to see a lot Javon Baker going over the middle, Slade Bolden over the middle like you're talking about. And the youngsters, I think, too, are going to get activated, maybe on some post routes, maybe on some crossing routes. But really, I think they're going to use the middle of the field. And Miami's defense isn't centered around that. For Alabama's sake, that's a good thing. I think the corners are going to cause some problems, and maybe I think in general, if it was the 2 best cornerbacks in the nation, or maybe the 2 worst cornerbacks in the nation, you don't see Alabama's offense try the deep ball as much in this game, or at least early on in this game before Bryce Young can really get comfortable. But I think you're putting your best on their best, and at the end of the day, you just see what you have there. But overall, this receiving core is not getting enough love, and I think they're going to be all right.
I love this next topic that Coach Saban's about to talk about. As you know, earlier this week, Jalen Hurts named the starter at Philadelphia. Mac Jones named the starter at New England. They released Cam Newton. And then you also have Tua Tagovailoa being the starter at Miami. Here's Nick Saban talking about that. And then we're going to talk about these quarterbacks. And we also want to hear from you inside the comment box. Who are you taking? Maybe get a banner up for this, Chris. Were you taking in week 1, 2 weeks between Miami and New England in the NFL? So NFL matchup down the road. Bama quarterback. Those are family. Those are brothers going against brothers. Here's Nick Saban talking about the quarterback starting in the NFL.
Coach, I know this isn't something you pay a lot of attention to, but your last three starting quarterbacks are all starting in the NFL this weekend, and just your thoughts. How does that happen, and what are your thoughts about those three guys?
Well, I think all three of those guys did an outstanding job when they were here. Happy to see that they're getting an opportunity to play and start at the next level. I never really had any issue thinking that they would not have successful NFL careers. Now they have the opportunity to show, how successful they can be. They all worked hard. They worked hard and made tremendous improvement while they were here. I think it's a reflection on some of the really good quarterback coaches that we've had here and some of the good offensive coordinators that we've had here to help them continue to develop as players. So I'm excited. I don't get to see them play on Sundays, but I'm excited to certainly, find out how well they do. And we wish them all the best and the best of luck. And I'm very hopeful that they'll all do extremely well.
Okay. So just like I said, Mac Jones named the starter in New England. That was gigantic news. Chris put the banner on the bottom of the screen. I'll zoom in on the photo right here. There's a commish with Mac Jones. Trey, your take on Mac Jones starting for the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick. It's kind of like the Alabama pipeline. Your take on this, on Mac Jones starting, and then let's kind of dive into that early week one between Mac and Tua.
I thought this was going to happen. I did not think this was going to happen preseason. Didn't think it was going to happen week 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought this was going to be maybe week 6, week 7. The fact that he is giving him this team speaks volumes about the way that they're trying to run their offense up there, because Mac is a perfect fit for what they're trying to do. And it speaks volumes to what Mac has done so far. Look at these preseason games. Look at the numbers. Cam Newton didn't necessarily have a bad preseason, but Mac Jones had an unbelievable preseason for a guy that's never played an NFL game. His passer rating was 131 in his last game. That's 2 preseason games into his career. It's not like, this is a team. It's not like he got drafted by Miami and they're trying a little bit different style of offense. Bill Belichick picked a quarterback in the first round because he knew, this is my guy. This guy fits exactly like Tom Brady did into my offense, and we're going to try to build him up. I was surprised that Cam Newton was released this early. You got to think that maybe comes down to money for New England, because he would have been a pretty good mentor for Mac Jones. Different style, but he could, give him some experience tips if nothing else. He is obviously not going to be a problem for Mac Jones anymore, and I think he deserves the start. This is going to be a really, really fun week 1 matchup. Looking at it, it means a lot more for Tua Tagovailoa. It just does. Tua's got a lot of things on his back right now in Miami, potentially Deshaun Watson coming in to take over that role. Mac Jones is going to have a pretty long leash, I believe, in New England. He's going to get his opportunities. Tua is really having to win, I think, early on in this season. If he wants to keep that starting role, he's going to have to find success. So you want the best for both of these guys, but you probably want to see Tua win this game if you're an Alabama fan, or if you're just a fan of all three of these guys. You probably want to see Tua win this game, but you're pulling for both Mac, Tua, Jalen to have the most success they can. And, maybe we have a friendly little AFC East rivalry when it's all said and done.
My take on Mac Jones starting for the New England Patriots. Look, I'm not shocked to see Mac Jones get an opportunity to lead the New England Patriots, because I wanted the 49ers to draft him. I follow the 49ers. Looks like Trey Lance is going to do a fine job, but I saw it with Mac Jones, and I talk about the efficiency that he had last year. He was dialed in, and I get it. It was an NFL-style offense. Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, Deontay Brown, all those components right behind you, Najee Harris. It was an NFL offense. So I'm not really surprised to see him. Remember that clip of Mac Jones when he was talking about Missouri and he named all their numbers, their heights and weights, their phone numbers, their ex-girlfriends, places they have lived, places they had traveled. Mac Jones knew everything. So right then I knew that Mac Jones was going to flourish, not only for the season, but from Alabama to the NFL. I think when you look at Tua Tagovailoa, and look, I'm really looking forward to that matchup. I have such a great respect for Tua because, I just look at what he had to go through during his career at Alabama. Was it a perfect career at Alabama? No, but he left this incredible legacy, right? I mean, everyone fell in love with Tua. Remember when he was injured, and just like the truckloads of, well-wishing cards that they were dropping off at the Malmore complex. They literally had to like drive it off in trucks. What he did last year at Miami, I don't think it was that bad. I mean, I think it wasn't perfect by any means, but from reading from the preseason tape, I think it's great. So Mac Jones, Tua Tagovailoa, week 1, and then we can't forget about Mr. Jalen Hurts. My goodness, Jalen Hurts also starting for Philly, and that's another great story. I think when you look at Jalen Hurts, and people continue to overlook Jalen Hurts, right? That's like just going to be the mantra. I mean, so I'm glad that he goes to Philly. They appreciate him. They give him an opportunity. Didn't have the strong season like Tua did for Miami during that initial year, but I think it's pretty amazing to see all these guys getting opportunities in the NFL. Alabama has always had the running backs. They've always had the wide receivers in the NFL. Now they have 3 quarterbacks that are starting in the NFL. Really blows my mind. And like Saban said today, I think it's a testament to the coaches that Alabama has had on the offensive side of the ball over the last couple of years, right? Brian DeBall. I say this again and again. When Brian DeBall came from the New England Patriots and brought that passing tree, you saw Alabama's offense really evolve, right? You saw it.
Changed. I mean,
and then you have Steve Sarkisian come in. You had Coach Locks come in, right? So all those guys kind of left, have helped this Alabama offense blend to what it is today. Now you got former NFL coach Bill O'Brien taking over for, Alabama at the offensive coordinator position. I know people are like, oh, Bill O'Brien, what he did with the Texans is bad. Look, Saban, you think Saban's going to go out there and make a mistake? You think Saban's going to put someone that could derail his dynasty? No. Saban is thinking about next year's offensive coordinator because, Bill O'Brien's going to go back to the league. So Saban has all this figured out. Remember, we always say this. He's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. So don't worry about it. Bill O'Brien, I think, is going to do a fine job for Alabama. I want to post a couple more of your scores on the screen. We're posting predictions tonight on Bama Insider. Hey, if you guys like the show, we appreciate it. If you guys would hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe, we appreciate you more than you know. Chris, you can take down that one banner, and we can continue to post a couple different scores. We're going to come to you every Wednesday night after Nick Saban, kind of talk about what we learned from Nick Saban's press conference, take your questions and your score predictions, and then following the game, Trey and I will be back on. We'll be breaking down the game with stats, analysis, what we learned from Alabama's first game of the season. So definitely hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. We appreciate you, fam. I mean, 60,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Really amazing. Never would have thought that, it would become what it is today. So yeah, Super Chat is basically like a tip for the staff, and but a thumbs up goes a long way. Chris, let's post a couple more score predictions on screen, and then Trey and I will post our score prediction, and then we'll break out, and you guys can enjoy the rest of your beautiful September 1st Wednesday evening. Let's see what else we got. Post some of those other scores. We got, I think Sean's in there. Oh, well, he's still talking about the NFL game between the Pats and Miami, right?
It's so interesting to talk about.
No, yeah, I get it. Yeah, and Sean
it.
has New England 28, Miami 23, which actually isn't a bad game.
That's a great football game. I think that's a fair
bad
score prediction.
That's a not bad. Yeah, I like that score.
I like that.
Okay, yeah, good, Sean. Okay, what else we got? Julian is saying 42-17 Bama. I think we already got Julian. Bob MCKLV is saying, what is that? 4-13 Bama? Does that mean 4-3? I don't know. Bob, you're gonna have to clarify that. That is that's an odd score indication. So we'll give you maybe we'll have to dive into that and figure that out. Okay, who else we got? We got here we go. Bob's back in it. He's saying 44-13, I think. That sounds more like it. Thanks,
that
Bob.
sounds
I
about
appreciate
right.
it. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Mitchell is saying 45-14. I like that score. I like it. And I'll just tell you right now. Actually, I want to find my exact score. So, Trey, why don't you go ahead and give everyone your score of this prediction of the game?
This is something I battled with a lot. It's so interesting. It's always awesome to hear everybody else's predictions. Sometimes it's kind of funny to hear some of the scores themselves. People have the team getting to 16 or 18 or 19. And that's I don't know how you come up with some of those numbers. Some kind of safeties and all crazy stuff has to happen. But sometimes that, those kind of scores work out. And there was a lot of reasonable scores, Kyle, when we were going through this. There was a lot of level-headed people. Unfortunately, I'm not level-headed. I think Alabama is going to dominate this game. I think this defense is just so much better than it was last year. They finally understand these schemes from what we can tell. This inside linebacker group, I think, is going to really flex their muscle. And we're going to see the cornerbacks do a great job as well. I think they hold Miami to 10 points in this game. think Derek King has a rushing touchdown. I'm getting super deep in the context of this game now, but I think my final score, Miami 10 points. I think Alabama's going to score 45. I think they're going to score an even amount of TDs there, just one field goal on top of it. And I think they're going to win this game by 35 points in blowout fashion. Maybe you have something a little different. I think yours is a little bit more reasonable, but I think this is typical Alabama football week 1.
Chris, go up to the top. We got Late Sip. He's up there. He had the nice sport coat on. I like the drip right there for the Wednesday night. There you go. You got 31-30 Miami throwing up the U. That's a nice emoji. If you're a Miami fan, you could throw up the U, right?
It's clutch.
Yeah. So, hey, Late Sip, thanks for joining us, man. Hope you have a blessed rest of your week and enjoy the game. 31-30 Miami. Who else we got? We got Gregory Rose on there. Gregory Rose is saying 61-20. 81 points in that game. That'd be a ton of points. I mean, we're in the world where college, football is all about points, unless you're Nebraska. That was mean. That was mean, right?
It's a little too soon.
That was too soon. Get
wow.
7 days. All right, my bad, Nebraska fans. Okay, Why Not is saying 43-17 Bama, and then Scuba Steve once again is saying 999-1. Okay. Scuba Steve, that's the highest score prediction we've ever seen.
Price is right. Yeah.
There is get Bombs in there.
Bombs is back.
Oh yeah, Bombs
Let's
always
go.
back. Yeah, Bombs always in there. Bombs has it 38-7, and I see Jeff Stapleton up there. Can't wait to catch up with you guys on Saturday. Yeah, Jeff is a longtime follower. Him, Bombs. I got to know a lot of these people. Oh, Derek, what's up, Derek? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Not rocking the tie and tonight, but we appreciate you still being here. So a lot of scores coming in. Daryl Edwards is saying Bama 45-21. Tyrone Hall is saying 34-10 Miami, right? The Canes.
Oh, wow. 24 points.
Gregory Rose from deep with the super chat. This is a $5 bill.
Gregory.
Flying in the sky.
Thank you, sir.
And the crowd goes wild for a $5 bill as if Tyson has just won the fight. You guys know what that is? That's from Outcast. Okay.
All the references.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. So thank you very much for sticking with us tonight. My prediction, okay, is Alabama. Get a graphic or a banner for this, Chris. Alabama 45, Miami 14. 45-14. I'm going to take Alabama. I'm going to take the points. I think that Alabama comes out locked, loaded. I wouldn't be surprised if, there's an early turnover or something like that, and people hit the message boards and they're like, Bill O'Brien. No, you know what's going to happen? It's going to be blame Pete Golding.
Oh, I mean,
right? Like
anything
you get stuck in traffic. You're like, Pete Golding, I can't believe it. You're right. You have a bad sandwich. You're like, Pete Golding, man, I can't believe it.
We just didn't have that DC.
Yeah. So I think Alabama's going to settle in. I think they're going to have a really big second, third, fourth quarter. I think they close out strong. Alabama coming with it. I have it 45-14. Hey, fam, thank you very much for joining us. We sincerely appreciate you. Thank you for watching our videos. You guys mean a lot to us, and I mean it when I say it. We appreciate you. So definitely hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. Hey, Trey, if you could timestamp this video, kind of go through, maybe section it out for the people so they can come back and watch it, and we will be back. We're back here all the time on our YouTube channel. We can't stay away.
I was gonna say, Kyle, the season has started now. We're in the thick of it.
Yeah, we're here. So you guys enjoy yourselves. Someone said it was like 67 hours away or something like that. Someone has it. Like they're like timing this. It's gonna be a very long Thursday and Friday, but it's all about that mental preparation as we inch closer to week 1 of the college football season. My name is Kyle Henderson. He's Trey Yannity. Enjoy your college football. Soak it in. If you're going to the game in Atlanta, have a beautiful time. Stay blessed. We appreciate you guys more than you know. We'll catch up soon from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Kyle Henderson, BamaInsider.com, along with Trey Yannity. Thanks, fam. We appreciate you.